Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing good on this Friday. Just got a little something to say. Thank you, Abby B. This a new top, y'all. I was like, ooh, because y'all know how I feel about a good print. Y'all know how I feel. And it's, these little shirts, they kind of hard to find. So I be kind of like on the lookout. They hard to find in print is what they hard to find. And they hard to find when they're not sheer. That be my issue. I be looking for the little tops. And they don't like to not make them sheer. It's like, I ain't showing up nowhere with a sheer top on. Like, anyway. So, we got something to talk about. Me and the lionesses, the women, we got something to talk about, ladies. Because there's a reason why we saying winter is coming. And typically that only applies to the hyenas. Because we know how hyenas think. We know how hyenas do. Thank you, Too Tall. We know how they do. We know how they think. We know how they roll. We know how they've been behaving. We understand the ideology that they hold and all of that. I'm not accusing lionesses of holding that same ideology. I'm really not. I'm not accusing us of participating necessarily with a lot of the foolishness that we see. Okay. But I'm going to say this, and I've said this before. If you are a woman and you have been born in America for the past few generations, you're a feminist until you're not. Thank you, Proverbs 31. You're a feminist until you're not one. Because that is the indoctrination. That is the social engineering. That is the branch of white supremacy that has been foisted and hoisted upon women and men. Thank you, Hakeem, said doing great and love your work and cooking it up. Thank you so much. So you're a feminist through the indoctrination, going to school, movie, cultural influences and institutional influences make you a feminist. The only way that you're not a feminist is you have to actually deny it. You actually have to consciously, it can't be subconscious, you have to consciously understand what gynocentrism is, what it entails, what's feminism, what you were taught, how, you know what I mean? And actively and consciously decide every day that you aren't going to do that. That you aren't going to do that. And that can be difficult for women because unlike men, we nest in environments. We find comfort in being within a group and being acceptable to that group, to that social group. That is part of the nesting of women and part of our nature. So we do not like to be the outsider. We don't like being the outlier. We don't like being the outcast. We don't like being the odd one out. We don't like being the woman that other women, by and large, do not accept for one reason or another. Okay? This is a part of our makeup as women. So in order to be a lioness, you actually gonna have to overcome that to a large degree, especially since being a hyena is the word of the day. Especially since participating in a whole host of foolishness is what's acceptable by and large. So what we have to rely on as lionesses is our spiritual value to guide us in what we should be doing versus what we shouldn't. And so when I say a lioness is nothing without her pride, that is included. We need the support of the pride in order to help keep us from roaming over into the boneyard and finding comfort in the boneyard. Because the boneyard is where the women are. Or that's where the females are at. And that support is really in the form of the men in our lives. Be they our fathers, be they our husbands, be they our brothers and uncles and mentors and things of that nature. We rely upon the men in order to assist us in making sure that we don't fall into the trap as well. It's work for a lioness not to do this. Okay, it can be challenging. So I'm not charging lionesses up with being 100% into the foolishness, but I am going to charge the so-called good women up today. And what I'm going to charge you up with is a couple of things. And they are interconnected, these things. Okay? Before I start charging so-called good women up, are we understanding what I explained about the nature of women? Because it's important to do, because feminism actually plays on the nature of women. It plays on it, and it perverts that nature. It subverts that nature. It turns that nature from something that can be positive and helpful to something that is negative and destructive and harmful. That is why feminism worked the way that it did. That's why it worked so well. Okay? All right. So I just wanted to make sure that we understand why I brought up female nature, because feminism plays on it. Now, I'm charging good women up with a couple of things that are interconnected. The first thing that I'm charging good women up with is silence. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely. I'm charging so-called good women up with silence. Silence where? Silence how? Silence about the behavior that we observe from family and friends. Thank you, Adrian. Said, good evening. I wish I could pay you what you're worth. You're a precious gem. Keep it up. Why do these lights get so much brighter? Anyway, you know what? Never mind. But thank you, Adrian. I'm charging the so-called good women up with silence. You got hyena mamas, sisters, cousins, friends, co-workers. Thank you, IBB. You got these people in your life. Now, some of these people is in your life. You didn't choose them to be in your life. That's your family, okay? Your moms and your sisters and all that kind of stuff. You can't help but know them and interact with them for the most part. It's not as many people as you would think that don't have no contact with their family members, right? Regardless of how their family members act. But the thing that I'm charging you up with is this. Your mama and your sisters and your cousins and your best friend and all of that type of stuff can be full-fledged hyenas. And a lot of y'all will sit back and you will silently disapprove of what's going on. You'll silently disapprove of their behavior, of the things that they do, the things that they say, the foolishness that they agree with, the foolishness that they participate in, and all of that sort of thing. You will not agree, but the problem is that you won't speak on it either. You won't speak on it either. Scared to call your mama to the carpet. Scared to call your sister to the carpet. Scared to let your true feelings be known that you don't agree. You don't like it. And dare I say, thank you, Femininity TV, and dare I say, will dissociate yourself as long as foolishness is actually going on. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be participatory. I'm not even going to be foolishness adjacent. We're going to get into it today. I'm not even going to be foolishness adjacent. Because what get lost in the sauce is that birds of a feather flock together. Okay? Thank you, Antoine. Said, love your message. Thank you so much. Thank you, Everett. Said, salute to this lady. Thank you so much. Birds of a feather. Do y'all really understand what that means? Because this is what I want everybody to understand. Just think back for a moment. If you think back, thank you, Sivan says silence is complicity. It is. Silence is complicity, but birds of a feather flock together. I want you to think, you have never, ever in your whole entire life seen two different species of birds actually fly together. Think about that. I need you to think about that. Thank you to Masculinist and Ain't Want to Be Left Out, Cram. Love you, woman. Love y'all too. Think about that. Have you ever seen a seagull flying in lockstep with a murder of crows? Have you ever seen a flock of pigeons flying with them little sparrow birds? I'll wait. Have you ever seen a bald eagle fly with a golden eagle? And they both eagles. You have absolutely 100% never ever in your life seen a flock of birds flying and interacting with each other, and they different species like that. Different species of birds stay away from one another. Okay? The only time you see any slight interaction between two species of birds is in the hood when it's some fries and mild sauce on the ground and some seagulls and some pigeons eating it, but it's like contention though. Like they still be contentious with it. Like the pigeons be like, no, seagulls, y'all get that piece of fry and we gonna get this fry right here. Come over here. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Sleepy Montana. To tell the truth, shame the devil, preach. Thank you so much. So birds of a feather flock together. Okay? You just ain't never seen these 2, 3, 4, 5 species of birds all in the same flock. Seahawks is not nowhere flying south with a bunch of geese. Y'all get what I'm saying? When people are together, that means they are of like mind somewhere. Somewhere along the line, y'all are thinking and behaving and having a similar worldview. So even if this is your mom, even if this is your sister, I'm not saying you just got to cut them off completely from your whole life. But if you notice that your sister got four babies and 4 baby daddies, and she run them men ragged, and you just kind of don't say nothing or whatever, and she come around and she yeah, I did this to this Negro and blah 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 blah. Thank you, Nafara said, would that not also apply to different races of people by that analogy? I don't know that it would apply to races, but it will apply to people of like or different mind. Because people who have completely different worldviews, values, and all of that type of stuff, them people don't get along. Sometimes they don't even cross each other's path. They life path be so separate, we don't even interact. We don't even intermingle. You know, I don't encounter a lot of rainbow people. That's because I ain't over there. I don't go where they hang. I don't go to the little hangout spots. I don't go to the parades. I'm not on the websites. I'm not on the forums. I'm not hanging around online or offline, so I don't encounter them a lot. 2 different sets of values. I don't have a reason. Thank you, Mr. Shug. You know what I mean? And it's the same with a bunch of other groups. I'm not going to get too far into it, because we're going to get back to what we're talking about here. You will have friends that's around you that's full of foolishness. And you will retreat away, but you won't say anything. And see, it's the not saying nothing for me. Thank you, Miss Celine. So I just tested positive for COVID, showing some love. Oh, I hope you feel better, sweetheart. I hope you get better. And thank you so much for your contribution, sweetie. You won't call out foolishness, and you maintain connections with these hyenas. You soft shoe. And I've seen that online. The soft shoeing. The softballing of the foolishness of hyenas. I've seen that online. I've seen so-called good women come to my comment section and others' comment sections to try to defend some foolishness that another hyena that they don't even know is a part of, still trying to have camaraderie under we all women and we sisters. My thing is, why you trying to be sisters with a bunch of hyenas? Why are these people your sistering? And I'm not just talking about your blood. I'm talking about who you identify with. See, we gonna get into it today. Who you identifying with? Why do you want to identify with the hyena behavior? Case in point, I had a lot of so-called good women. And I be putting stuff in quotes because I be sometimes side-eyeing some of these comments and stuff. I just don't highlight them. But I remember when I did a video about Tia Mowry divorcing her husband. Okay. And I called out the foolishness of that. And how she trying to have hot girl summer. Okay. At 42, 43 years old. With 2 kids. And a husband she needed to not leave. Thank you, Simon. Or she might be my age, 44. I think she is actually. I had a lot of women in my comment section under that video talking about, oh sis, you don't know what's going on in that household. You know, it could have been, he could have been cheating, this, that, and the third. You know, time out, time. What are we talking about? What are we exactly talking about here? Thank you, darkness. Because we either see foolishness or we don't. You either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. That's what I'm getting to. And not seeming to be able to stand on your principles and stand on your values in a powerful way where hyenas know not to try you. That's problematic because I'm going to tell you something about hyenas. Hyenas get validation from 2 things that keep them in their hyena delusion. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know the 2 things that hyenas like to get validation from. It validates them. Whether we want it to validate them or not. We know they crazy, so it validate them, okay? Two things validate a hyena's delusion. Number 1 is having sex with men that they want, but can't actually attract for a relationship. And number 2, silence from women that they know are better than them, which they take as an endorsement for what they do. I'm going to repeat that. Hyenas get their main validation from 2 different avenues. The first avenue that they get validation from, that they utilize to remain hyenas and in their delusional world, is they getting sex from men that they want, but that they can't actually attract for a relationship. For example, it validates a hyena to be able to get banged out by a high value man, but that same man would never, ever in a million years get her for a relationship. She get validation from that. Okay? And when she come around and she express all of the foolishness that she get up to, and you don't say nothing, and she figure you a better woman, or she know for a fact you a better woman than her, and you don't say nothing, she take that as an endorsement from you as to what she's doing. Thank you, Will Lack. Said, keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Okay. It's validation when you don't say nothing. The other thing that I'm going to charge you up with that's connected to your silence, and it's partially why a lot of these so-called good women are silent when it comes to checking the behavior of the other women that's around them. I'm going to say it after we come back from a break. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took?
What?
A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay. You gotta drop that broom on them. If your man come into where you cleaning up, talking about, guess what? I done took my A game. If you don't drop them dishes, if you don't stop wiping that counter down and turn that soup down to real low, down to the simmer, so it won't burn. Girl, I don't know what you doing if you don't do that, because he done already let you know he on his A game, his A game, his A game. Gotta get on your A game. And we are the ones who have to support our men and make sure that they're staying on their A game and make sure that they are on top of their health, their overall health, because that's one of the things that our men really rely on us lionesses for, to support all of him within the 10 life values. And the second value is health. And so we are responsible for supporting him in his health and in the upkeep of his health, because men will just, blow off a headache, or they'll blow off being tired, or they'll blow off a pain or something like that. And so it's up to us to gently remind and gently support our men and making sure that he's doing the best that he can to look out for his health. And one of the best ways that he can do that, looking out for his health, is to have A game, because A game is the number one herbal solution for men's health. And it supports men's vitality, their energy, their strength, and their libido, with 21 herbs with no artificial or inactive ingredients or anything like that. A game really does wonders for a man's overall health and helping him meet so many different challenges that he has to meet each day, right? So if we want to keep our men on their A game, all we have to do is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com. And please do not forget to get your 10% discount by using the code Kendra10 so you can have a game delivered to you ASAP, okay? And before we get back to it, I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta gotta hit the like button because we have 433 awesome people who have already hit the like button. So let's see if we can get the other 500 people to hit the like button because we are almost at 1,000 people in the box. And I get so excited when I see those numbers, right? I get really excited when I see those numbers because it lets me know that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing and people are finding value in the content that we are putting out on the Crimson Cure channel. And I can't thank everyone enough for that support. So thank you all for hitting the likes. Thank you all for your monetary contributions, which I appreciate greatly. So I just want to say that. Okay. So now we're going to get back to it. There's a reason why so-called good women are silent. You trying to pacify the hyenas. You trying to pacify them because you scared of them. You scared of them because you running around here allowing yourself to be made to be ashamed for you being feminine and for you doing what you supposed to do with your husband and your man in your life. Let's talk about that. You actually will allow yourselves to be made ashamed and you will try to pacify these hyenas by, laughing and giggling and kikiing and TTing and hee-heeing with them when you know what they doing is absolute garbage. Thank you, Professor Carl. So hyenas and chameleons cringe when they hear true lioness speak. Thank you so much. You allow them to intimidate you by calling you pick-me's. But see, that pick-me stuff is online. Offline, it's worse than that. It's worse than being called a pick-me. Offline, they threaten you with cutting you off from their attention or cutting you off from their, relationship. Or what they'll do is they'll run a guilt trip on you for not co-signing them. And one of the things that they'll bring up is, who you think you is? You ain't perfect. You want to run around here and act like you got it together. But I remember, and then they'll bring up your faults. I remember when you was such and such, such and such. I remember when you did such and such, such and such. So you ain't so perfect. So I know you not looking at me. I know you not saying nothing to me. And what that does is that attempts to lay a guilt trip on you for not having that same value or not seeing it the same way. So then you start getting into a mode of pacifying them. I don't mean it like that. I'm not trying to come off like that. Or, I'm not trying to say it like that. No, we saying it just like that. Just how you took it, that's exactly how we saying it. Now, what's next? Next caller. Next caller. Okay. I meant it exactly how you were taking it because they attempt to shame you. You will be in your relationship doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you can't even confide in your family and your friends about that because you know that they are going to ridicule you, they're going to talk about you, or worse, they're going to try to influence you against what you're doing in your relationship. Try to make it seem like you should be unhappy doing what you doing because they would never do it. But this is why I ain't got no man. Or this is why they do got a man, but their relationship is on the rocks all the time. And what a lioness has to do is let that run off of them like water off a duck's back. Because who cares what they really think? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they say? Who cares about their opinion on what you doing in your life when their life is in shambles? You know, when you pick up the pieces of your life, we can have a conversation at that point. And it's because the feminine, good women are so passive around hyenas. That's why they think we weak. That's why they think that they can come online and low-key bully you, low-key intimidate you, low-key try to call you names and shut you up and shut you down. And this is why I speak the way that I do. So unapologetically, this is why I say black women. And I don't necessarily qualify, I did it today, but I don't necessarily qualify some black women or most black women or many black women. The reason that I don't make those qualifiers is because if I'm not talking to you, then if it don't apply, you let it fly. But if I am talking to you and you get hit, say ouch and keep going. Because we're talking about a collective behavior that we see. Thank you so much, Norrin.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much, Norrin. That's why I don't make the distinction, because we know it's not every single woman. We know every single black woman is not out to get a black man. We know every single black woman is not, you know what I'm saying, having some sort of hatred or misandry or things like that. She's not out here ruining her kids. She's not out here breaking her home. She's not out here. We understand that it's not every single individual, but we're not talking to every single individual. We're talking about the collective of black women and the mentality that so many have, that we've been passing it down, and it has ruined black women personally in their realm of being women. Don't know how to be women, don't know how to be feminine, always in their masculine energy, don't know how to get along with no man, don't know how to get along with other women, don't know how to get along in life. It has messed them up, and because they're messed up, they have messed up all of the relationships between themselves and black men, to the point now where black men are proud to say they are not dealing with black women in no way, shape, or form that they don't got to in their life. And it has become a point of relief for them to say that. Okay? Which has led to the ruination of community because the family is broken. Black women have by and large bought into single motherhood and all of these other dysfunctional, destructive things that are being held up as good for black women and good black culture and something we should be proud of, or, you know, we need to be turning up and all of this other foolishness. This is what's pervasive. It's pervasive. To the point where lionesses have been marginalized to the side, unable to really speak up and stand up. They've had to go and put their head down and eat their food. They've had to go and just mind their business and be the best wife they could be in their house and in their corner. But see, now is not the time for lionesses to do that. We actually have to come out in force and say what we saying and mean what we say and say what we mean. because that is the element that has been lost among Black women. The fact of women being able to check other women. Because women can say stuff to other women that men can't really say, even when they know it and understand it. Because women don't like to be the outliers. So it's up to the lioness to alter that, to change that, to make what we do and how we think be the majority, so a hyena feels outcast by it. That her behavior, once she feels outcast, she's not so proud to engage in that foolish behavior. She's not so proud to engage in twerking on a table. You understand what I mean? Because the other women don't approve. And she'll be booted from the group. She'll be looked at side eye and looked down upon for it. Right now, nobody's looking down on a thought. Nobody's looking down on this foolishness. So she feel emboldened to continue to participate and spread it around like it's cute. Thank you, Philip. She feel emboldened and empowered to do what she doing because she gonna get attention, whether it's negative or positive. She gonna get attention. Folks is gonna talk about it. She get validation from negative things, is what I'm trying to say. The reason why I'm saying that winter comes for good women too is because of your proximity to the foolishness. You too close. You too close to them. You too close to the foolishness. When it rain on everybody. If you in the area, it rain on everybody. If you in the area where it's raining, you gonna get wet too. The only way you don't get wet is you gotta leave the area. You're standing too close to the boneyard. The demarcation of the Pride Lands and the Shadow Boneyard, the Elephant Graveyard, is very clear. Why are you so close over there? Don't let them threaten you with not wanting to be around you and not talking to you. That might be the best thing that happened to you. We can deal with each other with a long handle spoon. Okay. Spoon handle be so long. Okay. We'll deal with you with a long handle spoon. I ain't got to completely cut you off, but I don't have to be participatory with you, and I don't have to even be in a position to give you the impression that I'm endorsing what you do. Because see, we can't afford to be like, oh, well, you know, her business is her business. No. Because a lot of times, pretty much all the time, what a person do is speak to who they are. And do you want to be involved and in the life and, riding heavy with somebody with integrity issues? Somebody that don't treat their kids right? Too many I done seen. Come around, I talk to her, but I don't like the way she, treat her children. Or I don't like the way she, just almost seem a little bit abusive. So why you talk to her? Oh, well, that ain't really none of my business. Is it not? Isn't it though? your friend, you should be able to say something. If you see something, say something. That shows a level of, jerk for her. Why is she doing her kids like that? And why do you want to be associated with somebody that'll have the mindset to do that to people they birthed out? What they gonna do to you? You think you exempt? She carried them kids 9 months in bare pains album and treating them like dirt. And you like her? What redeeming quality do she have? I'll wait. She funny, and so are comedians on TV. Watch a comedy, you want to laugh. And I'm with what Dr. Michelle just said. She said, my mom used to say, if your name could be called because you present, you already wrong, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Don't be around the wrong people who don't represent your values. Exactly. Because if you're over there, you're already in it. Thank you, CLLSR. If you're over there, you're already in it. You wouldn't know all the dirt and all the tea and all the this and all of that if you wasn't over there looking and being and laughing and kicking. Lionesses do not sip the tea of hyenas. We bite them when they come around. We bite them. And you can bite them with love. If the hyena is close to you, you can bite her with love. You sure can. You bite her to let her know that you don't rock with that. But it can be in the spirit of love. It can be in the spirit of God. Because you're trying to help her. Because you're trying to open her eyes to something. That can be done in the spirit of love. It sure can. I bite you because I love you. Just like your parents whooped you because they love you. I can bite you and love you at the same time. I ain't got to hate you. This whole channel is based on that. The women that want to be helped and all of that type of stuff. And I get so many messages from women that say, hey, I spotted a lot of hyena behavior within me. And you helped me out. I'm biting with love. I'm biting with love. Now these other, stomp down, dirty back-footed hyenas that don't love nobody, they don't want nobody. I'm not biting them with love. I'm just biting them. That's just a pure on bite right there. Here's the thing that we got to understand as lionesses. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I don't want to see good women lionesses get caught up in the storm. I really don't. But some of y'all might get caught up because you've been too close to the proximity of the storm. You understand? If there was a story of God was going to destroy a place, and he sent the angels to destroy that place. And the angel said, well, what if it's people down there that worshiped you? Should we just destroy indiscriminately, or what you want us to do? Thank you, 39 Dina. What you want us to do? God said, go down there. Look. Go see it. So they went back and forth, back and forth. Finally, they went back and said, we found one. We found one pious. And did that pious person ever, this is the question that God posed to the angels, did that pious person ever attempt to correct the wrongdoing around him. That said no. He was pious in his home. You know what the directive was? Start the destruction with his home first. Start the destruction with his home first. Destroy him first. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. You saw all this wrongdoing around you, and you did not lift a finger to stop it. We're going to start with you. Because you're more wrong than them because you knew better and you didn't say nothing. You did not talk. You did not speak. You did not attempt to correct with the knowledge that you had. You just stayed in your little corner and did, quote unquote, what you were supposed to do right. The lioness cannot be quiet. We got to get on top of Pride Rock and we got to roar behind these lions. We really do. Or else we're complicit in letting the hyenas run through the Pride land with no check and no challenge. You're complicit. And if you're going to be complicit, then you're also going to get part of what's coming. Because you can run with a hyena so long that a lion can't tell the difference. And he'll mess around and bite you too. You understand what I'm talking about? You will get caught up too. Trying to pacify. Trying to soft shoe. Trying to, That's why they think we stupid. Because we act stupid around them. We act like we don't know what's going on. You won't bite when you're supposed to. Thank you, Chano. So everything spoken is centered solely around the apathy part of the chart. Exactly. You don't bite when you're supposed to. And when I say bite, I'm not always talking about being disrespectful. I'm not always talking about arguing or doing any of that gynocratic foolishness. I am not talking about taking up on the spirit of a gynocrat. I am talking about understanding what the values should be and simply standing on them. Holding yourself accountable and holding yourself accountable to the for the people that you truly are associating with. Because some of these individuals might be your blood family, but socializing with them is a choice. And you have to decide how best you can socialize and associate with them. Or if at all. And I'm not telling nobody to not, to cut your family off. I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea. All I'm saying is the boundaries are for everybody. Your value system is your value system, and it applies everywhere. Your value system is your value system everywhere. It's got to be everywhere. Not picked up and put down when you feel like you're not going to be challenged on it. I'm going to leave you with one more verse from the Quran in English. And I'm going to paraphrase. What God asked, do you think that you will say you believe and not be tested? Do you think that you can say, I believe, but not be tested? That was a question. Do you think that you can say, I have a good value system, I'm a lioness, and not be challenged on that point? It's easy to do something when you ain't got no opposition. When nobody says anything, when you're in the echo chamber, it's easy. Thank you, Mr. Docs. Even Miss Kendra in chat, you are looking as attractive as ever. Miss Kendra, always appreciate your content and honesty. Thank you. And thank you so much as well. You gotta be able to stand on your principles and your value system everywhere you go. In every situation, every time. Or else, is it your value system? Are they your principles? Is it your moral compass? You have to start asking yourself them questions. Am I really real right now? Because if I go where the wind blow, 1 minute I'm over here, 1 minute I'm over there, 1 minute is, and I'm just doing what's easiest, and I compromise my values. When I do that, you have to ask yourself whether or not they are your values. Too many Black women are caught between two value systems. They caught between the 10 life values and they caught between the lost value system. And you really have to consciously choose every day which one you're going to do. It's just that simple. And believe it or not, women need men to keep her focused on that value system. That's the other key. That's one other reason, yet another out of the hundreds of reasons as to why Black women were separated out from Black men and told to push Black men away, is because men, that's one of the things you need men for, to keep women focused on the value system, to remind her what she's supposed to be doing. That's the support. That's actually part of procreation and protection. That's a part of that. Procreation and protection. Men protect women from themselves. Men protect women from themselves. They protect them from their bad decisions. They protect them from their own chaos. They protect them from getting off track and going all off into left field. Because men keep what? Order. They keep order. And women are chaotic. That's the absence of order. That's him keeping order. And he do that protection out of love, out of the procreation part. That's where the protection is coming from. I want to protect you from yourself because I love you. And I want to see you do good. Women are emotional creatures. We are driven mostly by our emotional impulses. And while there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just how we're made, we have to understand that, though, accept it as truth, and then place ourselves under the order of our men. Because we know we can be impulsive. We know we can do all kind of stuff based on how I felt. And it'll feel right to us. Until a man come along and point out, baby, you might have felt my apologies. They'll correct you, baby. You might have felt like you was all right. But that was the wrong decision, beloved. You shouldn't have done that. This is why. This is why you don't do that. Okay? And the best thing you can do is tell your husband, thank you for correcting me. Thank you for protecting me from my own chaos. And thank you for directing me in the right way to go, because I know you did it out of love. That's what you do. And don't go around, he controlling. Yeah, that's the idea. I might have to do a show on he controlling. I want my man to be controlling. Y'all always think that that's something bad. Y'all need somebody to control you because you're out of control and you don't know what you're doing. I got something going on. Hold on. I apologize. You know how you get something going on and you got to cough out? Anyway, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. But before I do, I want to bring everybody's attention to the petition. We are over the 10,000 signature mark for the petition. And I'm really, really excited about that, because what that does is that allows us to basically have the green light where we can start getting more eyes on the petition via press releases. So that's what we're going to do very, very soon. Get more eyes on the petition, more participation in the petition. And I want to thank everyone who's already signed it, shared it, and contributed to it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the link in the chat for the petition as well. I want to thank everyone for their generous contributions. I want to thank everyone for their participation today, whether you did so over Super Chat, over PayPal, or over Cash App. I want to thank you. And last but not least, I want to thank my support team, without which we cannot do any of this content. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel, by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.